My Italian roots are very important to me, and they make me the woman that I am today. When I think of stories of my own upbringing, I think of the stories my mom would tell me about my grandmother, who always in the back porch, they lived in a very modest, humble home, she always had the table set with the tablecloth on it, and on the stove was the pasta and the sugo ready to go for anyone that would come by that was hungry. I think of the story of my father when I was running in 1995 in the election, and he walked into the middle of a holdup. And essentially what happened was a struggle ensued, and he took the robber to the ground. And while he took the robber to the ground, he had a gun. And 3 shots were fired. 2 went through my father's pants that the police took as evidence. And when he secured the robber on the ground, the other 2 that were being held up came over and said, let's sort of give it to him. And my dad said, no, that's okay. The police are going to come. Everything's going to be okay. You see, my father forgave that man before he asked for forgiveness. And then finally, I think, and this is special for me now as Minister of Seniors, a story of my mother. She went to the hospital to pick her mom up because her mother was ill. And she was taking her mom home, back to her mom's home. And my grandmother said to my mother, Irene, where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? She wanted to know where she was going. And my mother said to my grandmother, Ma, I'm taking you home. I don't think you're taking me home. I think you're taking me somewhere. You see, then she did not want to go to a home. She wanted to go to her own home. My mother tells a story about her pulling back the curtain. Then they had the curtains in the ambulance. And she said, Ma, look, we're home. And my mother looked after her parents. My mother and my father took in my mom's parents. Actually had to separate them. One stayed on the main floor, one on the top floor, because they looked at each other and cried all the time when they saw the pain and suffering they were going through. And they looked after them to the day they died. Those are the values that make me the person that I am today. And those definitely come, I think, from my Italian heritage, my Italian roots.